Hey, you want to see something really scary?
What's your favorite scary movie?
I'm gonna scare the hell out of you.
What was living behind that boy's eyes was purely and simply evil.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
When there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk here.
What's blood for, if not for shedding?
Welcome to Fright Night.
Welcome back to Jump Scare. I'm Betty.
And I'm Shad.
This week, we watched Good Boy. Happy October! Happy October!
Yay! Spooky season is upon us.
Yes, finally! Now, before we get even into the movie, I have to speak upon a grievance that I have with the retail industry, okay?
Okay.
How dare they start Halloween so early, which initially started because of the whole COVID thing. That really messed up shipping when everyone started coming back to work and there were delays, and so they started getting the stuff like earlier. They were putting their orders in earlier than they would have, the stores. Okay, so when the stuff comes in, so at least they had stuff because they knew that if they waited, that it was not going to come in time. All right.
Okay.
So how I'm going around the store, it is, late September. Halloween, 50% off. Everywhere. All the stores, 50% off. Like, Halloween's already fucking done. Michael's looked like a war zone, okay? There's just a random, skeleton head rolling down the aisle. It's like the Wild Wild West. It was crazy. And I was like, oh, Halloween's over. And you know what there was? There was Christmas. Christmas statues, nutcrackers galore. Everywhere you look, there was Christmas. It was like, boom, it's here. Forget about Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving doesn't even... That's my favorite holiday. Not that was going to influence the retail industry or people, but what the hell? They just skipped over just straight to what's going to make us the most money. Food, but now what it costs to buy a meal, that's like the equivalent of buying like gifts during Christmas. Like, you can't even for your months, how much you're spending for food. But anyways, so I just wanted to talk about that because it is October and we're starting the month strong with Good Boy.
Yes.
Okay? This movie. Can we just give the rating now and then just discuss?
Yes, let's give it. What's the rate? What's your rating?
I'm going to go out there and I'm going to say it, guys. It's going to be 4. No, actually, it's not 4 knives. Come on. It's like, it's 3.5 knives.
All right.
It's close to 4 knives.
Well, I'm going full in on the 4 knives on this one because it is amazing.
Yeah, see? Now you could just turn us off and don't listen to the rest of the podcast. Since you already got the rating. Do
not turn us off.
There are people that are just interested in ratings. They're like, I don't even need to know why they got the rating. I just want to hear what the rating is, and then I can move on with my life. So, hit it. You've seen the trailer, of course. You've seen the poster.
Yeah, the poster's amazing. The trailer shows some of the stuff from the movie, but they get you right in the heartstrings with the movie. Now, this was written by Ben Leonberg and Alex Cannon, and then Ben Leonberg also directed it. And of course, the main star of this movie, the one that everyone cares about, is Indy.
Indy!
And he's just played by Indy.
He's
just him.
Top Google search. Does the dog die at the end of Good Boy?
Yeah.
Everyone wanted to know ASAP after the trailer.
Because they're like, I'm not bothering to watch this movie if the dog is going to die.
And also, I'm going to burn bridges down.
Yeah, the city's going to burn.
A dog being murdered in a film, as they should.
Now, Shane Jensen plays Todd, the guy who owns Indy, the best boy, the good boy. And we also have everyone's favorite Larry Fessenden showing up in here as Todd's grandpa. And you'll know him from, everything. If you're a horror fan, you know Larry Fessenden. So now this... If
you don't know, do we have something we could throw at the audience and say?
He's been a producer on The Innkeepers, Stakeland, House of the Devil. He also has acted in a ton of things like We Are Still Here with Barbara Crampton.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, he's been in a lot of things over the years. He's one of the people that you'd recognize. He usually plays the crazy grandpa, the guy they talk to at the occult store or something like that, you know?
Yeah. Well, I have to say that when I saw the trailer, the first thing that I thought about, which ironic shouldn't have been the first thing, was, oh yeah, that's like that Bad Moon movie that we covered. That we wanted to cover.
Yeah.
But we didn't get to cover. And based on that novel by Wayne Smith, Thor.
They just called the book Thor, I think.
Which is in the the POV is from the German Shepherd.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, awesome. Now they can do that. The movie begins. And man, what a way to start the movie. Character, who like thought there could be so much character development and also such amazing acting for a first timer, okay? This is like, if there was an Oscar for best animal actor, Indy is winning it. Yeah. Like,
he did get the inaugural Howl.
It's a Howl Award at one of those like festivals, film festivals. That's cool. Of course,
I blanked on the name.
It's a dog award.
Howl of Fame.
The Howl of Fame. I can't.
Yeah, the Howl of Fame. He got that at South by Southwest.
This movie just opens up and it just shows you the man's best friend, relationship.
Yeah.
The man and his dog relationship. Beautifully from the moment that he's like a little puppy, okay?
Yep, this guy went and got him when he was a puppy. You see the whole like montage of all the home movies of him, and everything is just adorably cute and amazing. You just want this dog.
Oh, the dog is so cute. I feel like also that because of the dog's looks, that elevated. It's like if the dog was not cute. I don't know.
He was an ugly dog actor. How dare you?
No, I did not say ugly dog. I just said maybe the dog is just not that much of a looker. Maybe the acting was going to be like,
Save it.
Yeah. But this is not the case. Not only is the acting chops, pun intended, because dogs love to eat chops, pork chops.
We got it. You weren't ahead of us on that one. We caught on.
He does such a good job, and also I also wasn't expecting a drama. There's a lot going around. There's a lot going on in the movie, but in a good way that doesn't seem forced. It's just, this is just a life, and you never see the owner's face until like the last, I don't know, 10-15 minutes of the movie.
Yeah. Because most of the movie is shot from like the dog's POV. You're seeing everything just like the dog would be seeing it. And you don't get information that the dog doesn't hear from people talking and that sort of thing. I like that because it's a lot of times in horror movies you have the thing of, well, why don't they just leave? Why don't they just leave? Your main character can't leave because he's the dog. What's he gonna do? Run off into the woods? He can't. So he has to be there and stick this out.
And we should say also, spoiler alert, the whole thing is going to be spoiled, I guess. This discussion about the movie, even though the movie is short, the runtime on it is like
73 minutes.
Yeah, which is amazing. Because you don't feel like it's long, or it's not, but also you don't feel like it's like a blink of an eye. It has good pacing. Oh my gosh. The scene, so here you are, you're falling in love with a dog, and then you see the dog laying on like someone, a male, and this phone is going off, and the phone keeps ringing and ringing and ringing, and the dog's like reaction and expression on the dog's face, you can see the anxiety like building
and the concern, like,
yes,
someone needs to do something here.
Oh goodness. That was like right after the heartstrings part. It was like,
no, that was before.
Oh, that was before.
Yeah.
Well, the whole movie just starts off with, we're not messing around.
It starts off with that, and then you can see a little bit of a flashback to the things.
Oh, that's right. It does have the flashback. So what is your favorite like part of the film?
I think my favorite part is when you start to see spooky things from the point of view of the dog. Because we haven't really seen that in a movie before. We've seen everything from people having psychic flashes of, creepy things happening in the house. You see creepy things happening in the mirror, creepy things happening on the cell phone, but you've never really seen the dog seeing what's happening in the house and being unable to tell the owner about it. He can't tell the owner, oh my God, I just saw another ghost dog in the house, and I saw a creepy shadow man walking through. He can't say that.
Yeah.
So that sucks because he can't even warn the guy.
Yeah, there's a dog in Poltergeist. So
yeah, the dog, he didn't say anything.
Yeah, exactly. How dare he? Yeah, but imagine what he was going through.
Also, didn't the dog just kind of disappear in Poltergeist at one point? We don't really know what happened to him.
I think it tried to like dig up some bones like off camera in the backyard, and one of those like mummy things from the pool
just pulled it down.
One of the dead people that were in the cemetery.
Yeah, just pulled him down.
Pulled him down.
That's probably true.
And then it became bones. So.
Yeah. So the owner decides to go and stay in this remote farmhouse that belonged to his grandfather.
Because he is sick.
He's sick, and he kind of wants to get away from everybody. He's tired of people kind of,
doting on him and like asking him like,
are you okay?
questions.
Are you okay? And all this. So he wants to get out there and get alone. And this place has definitely seen better days.
It is a place I do not want to go to. It is a place that frightens me. It is in the middle of the woods.
Yeah, it's in the middle of the woods. You got a gate going up to it. You got to open, drive to, and then the power is cutting in and out.
Sidney Prescott lives in this house. If this was another movie, because this is like she lived out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah,
remember with the dogs.
Yeah, and like Scream 3 when she was living out there.
Yes,
to be like
when she was the freaking abuse hotline counselor.
That also reminds me of the house from. We just covered, the Night of the Reaper. It's out in the middle of nowhere where there's nothing around.
Yes.
That's it. And the only neighbor that this guy has is creepy woodsman who's like, I hope your dog doesn't get caught in one of my traps or snares. I set traps and snares out here to catch everything. You're like, oh, okay. Why are you doing that, creepy woodsman?
I want to know, did he know what was there? Because he technically never really came onto that property.
Yeah, he stayed away from it.
And he knew there was something going on with the guy's grandfather.
Yeah, he mentioned that, the grandfather had been there, had some incidents or whatever. But
and he kept telling the dog to take care of himself because he knew there was going to be some crazy stuff. Like, he was like, no. So I would definitely have had every booby trap known to man in this. So the house belonged to his grandfather. Grandfather passed, left him the house.
Left him there. Of course, there's no TV or reception, antenna reception or cable out there in the middle of nowhere. So all the time he's there, he's just constantly watching these old VHS tapes that the grandpa had recorded of old movies, and then he recorded himself on these tapes. But I love how he's just out there just constantly. He just comes home, puts in another tape that's just a random 6 or 8 hours of whatever movies grandpa recorded. He's just putting that on to watch.
How interesting. I would love to make random tapes like that of the things that I like to watch, and then someone can watch it.
I kind of regret. I had a lot of tapes of like The Simpsons and Star Trek and things like that, and when I bought the DVDs I got rid of the tapes.
That's the saddest thing you've ever said. I don't think you've ever told me the story.
Yeah, and because I was like, oh, I've got them all now. They're commercial free. They're uncut because a lot of those things they cut them for time and syndication and that. And I'm like, it was great. I've got the uncut versions. But then years later, I was like, oh, I kind of wish I'd saved some of those for all the local commercials and that kind of stuff. Would have been neat to see. But at the time, you don't think of it.
I'm upset. The podcast is over. We are not going to speak about this film anyway. The film got 3.5 stars from me. 4 knives. Guys, come on. You know that I'm gonna say, if you have listened to this podcast, you know that at one point I'm gonna say stars instead of knives. I feel like we should start a drinking game. I don't know. You're obviously not going to get drunk. The drinking game is just may take months for you to get through all of our episodes, over 200. Wink. So yes. So the dog and the owner go up to this house. Oh, also reminds me of the house. I've ever seen that new Wolfman movie.
Oh yeah.
Yes, that's actually the perfect example because they got like trek, like in some off
Wolfman
dope
movie that
road.
doesn't in fact feature a Wolfman.
Wow. Yes.
Okay.
Oh wow. Okay. So they're in this house, and he's sick, and then as in the audience, I'm trying to think like, what is wrong with this guy? Because they don't really say off the bat until later on. But he has some kind of cancer.
A kind that they didn't catch soon enough.
Yeah. He didn't come. When he caught it, but he didn't start doing treatment. He held off on doing the treatment for whatever reason.
Yeah, for too long, and now they're like, yeah, treatment wouldn't even help you.
Yeah, that sucks. And the dog is loyal. The dog loves his owner. The owner loves the dog. It is the best friend movie that we've been waiting for.
Yeah, and the guy goes into town one day, and you just see the sad footage of the dog just sitting at the window all day long, waiting for him to come back.
He does not even move.
He barely even left to eat, and then just waited at the window for him to come back.
Yeah.
And yeah, the sad part of it is you just know you're just waiting for something bad to happen to this dog, and the dog does go through some scary, traumatic events.
Hell yeah, he does. I was fucking scared and traumatized.
Yeah, because he starts seeing the creepy shadow man, pulls him around a couple of times. He starts seeing the images of seeing the ghost of another dog that belonged to the grandpa.
Ghost dog.
He starts seeing Max. Or was it Max or Bandit? Which was his name?
Bandit.
Well, Max is the one that played Bandit I saw online. But yeah, so he starts seeing Bandits, ghosts leading him around. Bandits taking him to find his old bandana that he had around his neck, and he's sniffing the bandana. And dogs have all the sense of smell, and he's seeing all the things that that the dog kind of experienced that was wearing the bandana because of the smells around him. And you see all the creepy things, and you're like, oh no, things did not end well for Bandit and Grandpa, did they?
They did not. And while that's happening, there's also some very slight and subtle progression of the grandfather becoming ill in the tapes.
Yeah. And
they kind of coincide, come up to each other, real life kind of.
Yeah, as the owner, if there's anything, his name's Todd, he starts to get sicker. You start to see Grandpa getting sicker there as well.
Yeah, so, and then, what kills me about the movie is, I always want to know, but why? If you're a person that needs to know, what is this dark shadow? You are not going to get an answer to that, okay? It is an eternal evil that lies underground of this house, okay? That has been there for 8 generations. Because the grandfather says, I should have not come out here. He regrets going to the house. And he knew that there was going to be something crazy. So who knows? Maybe the line of men in that family. Because then the grandfather also left the house to his, grandson. And he left the daughter. He has a sister. So the sister's actually communicating with him.
She's calling him on the phone all the time.
Yeah. Checking up on him, like a good sister would and all that. And she's the one that helps him, at the hospital and whatnot. And he doesn't want to have it. You start seeing him change. And his changes, he gets angrier. And, and then I'm like, well, is it just, did he create this darkness because he's being enveloped by darkness? He knows that he's nearing towards death. And is it death that's coming for him? Literally and figuratively? Is that what the darkness is? Was the grandfather? And then that's the thing. It's always ambiguous about the grandfather because the sister asked, did grandfather look ill in the video when he first tells her he saw a video of the grandfather? That was the first question she asked. And he's like, no, he looked perfectly fine. Yeah, because he was because whatever was happening was like slowly like eating away at him and taunting the freaking poor dog. And if who knows, if the dog hadn't been there, it would have taken him earlier, I guess. I mean, either way, at the end, they were still boned, pun intended.
Yeah, and I kind of got the feeling like I took it as like the thing there was kind of just death waiting for him. I took it as like that what he was seeing was just death waiting for him.
I do not like the way the death looks. Okay, so I need you to wear like, I don't know, a top hat. Look like Gary Oldman and Dracula, Bram Stoker's Dracula. This is not with the little glasses though, sans glasses.
Okay, you don't like the little glasses. All right. This was more of the death. You know, you didn't get the death like the Sandman had the Tori Amos looking death that went around and told everybody about it. And, you know,
this is like the first death that you've seen on the screen. For me, that was my first time that I ever seen death represented, was in Ghost. That scene when he's crossing the street and the fucking shadows just pull his fucking soul down. That shit is fucking a lot. I was like, oh god! That is actually the scariest part in the whole movie.
Yeah. And
not the pottery making.
That's probably, yeah. This one, I start to see the shadow coming, and you know, I took it like that was what death was kind of there, trying to take him constantly. And you know, he thwarted it a couple of times because he went to the hospital. He was taking his medication and that, and you know, I think that the grandpa kind of had the same thing. He was dying, death was taking him, and then like it's just kind of represented by going down into the basement, down into the underworld. Yeah. Not necessarily hell, but kind of like the traditional like sense of the underworld, where you're going to go down there and they're going to put you on the river Styx and take you to wherever.
I did not see coins in his pocket.
He might have had them.
The saddest, most disturbing part for me, part of the film, was when the dog got so scared he peed himself.
Yeah.
Okay? And let me tell you, that was intense. That whole scene was very, very intense. Now, the dog, the performance, how long did it take? It took like over 400 hours to record this
400
film.
400 days.
400 days. Oh, God. 400 days.
Spread out over, I think they said 3 years to record this.
Wow.
So, I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of takes of the dog where the dog is just like, I'm a good boy, and prancing around, and they're like, nope, we need you to be sad. You know? So, yeah, they did an amazing job on it. This is one of those things, too, though. It's basically 3 people in the movie. Or 2 people in the dog. You're going to have the director there, maybe whoever's running the camera.
Yeah.
You don't have to have a lot of people to do this, I'm assuming. So that's probably why they were able to spread it out for so long. They could just film whenever they could.
Yeah, and then also, I mean, it's, yeah, you're right. It's a dog. I can't even imagine the fact that they were able to pull any workable material is saying a lot. Only because, one, obviously that's a joke in the industry, like the worst things to work with are children with dogs. Like, those are the worst things to have on set. Yeah. And to have the dog is the main character. The dog is the one running the fucking show and telling the story via the dog's expression.
Yeah.
Okay? Which maybe for someone that's not like an animal lover, just like regular person, you're like, oh, whatever. That can't be. There's no way that this dog is able to pull any kind of performance.
Oh, that dog pulls it off.
No, the dog definitely does. You 100%
believe this dog. And the fact that they did all this without any CGI enhancements is amazing. They just got performances out of this dog. First of all, like I said, give the dog an Oscar for Best Actor.
We want to know.
But also, we need to give this guy, the director.
Ben needs all the accolades.
Yeah, he needs a fucking Oscar just for directing this, because, my God, if you can get that kind of a performance out of a dog, what can you do for a person?
Yeah, that's a lot of pressure, though. That's a lot of pressure. But no, definitely the performance out of the dog, that's... It's yeah, there's nothing I can even say.
And the
effects, that extraordinary.
Yeah, the effects in it are great. There's a great job of the creepy atmosphere of the house. It's mostly in the dark. It's creepy. There's rain. There's, the house.
It's wet. It's moist. Okay? It was very moist.
The house is covered up. A lot of stuff is covered up with tarps. So that immediately, if you've ever seen any horror movie ever, is a bad thing. There's always some shit under that tarp.
Old furniture. I'm going to tell you what. I've already come up with the explanation on what's going on with the house. Okay, what this darkness is.
Mm-hmm.
It's all of the antique furniture shoved into these rooms with like the wooden chairs upside down, like one on top of the other. The, boxes. The
every piece of furniture there is haunted, and then it brought its own ghost with it.
Yes.
They're all just fighting to see who's going to be the first one to take this guy and the dog.
It just made its own ghost. The energy from all of the haunted objects made its own new thing, and it's that of the Shadow Man. Okay?
Could be.
No, I don't want the Shadow Man. I don't ever want to see the Shadow Man. I'm good.
Speaking of the Shadow Man, did you ever see that Twilight Zone about the Shadow Man?
I don't know if I did. Wasn't he a Shadow Man because he got...
No, it was a Shadow Man. It was one of the newer Twilight Zones from the 80s.
Oh, I don't know. I don't think so.
Great episode. Shadow Man comes out from under the kid's bed in the middle of the night.
No. Is he smoking a cigarette?
No. He just comes out. He's the creepy, tall shadow thing. Comes out and says, I am the Shadow Man, and I will never harm you because I live under your bed. Walks through the wall and out into the world. Kid sees the next day a mysterious stranger killed 3 people. Keeps seeing like the Shadow Man, but he knows it's the Shadow Man that's killing everyone, right? And then he's getting picked on at school, so he dares the bullies to meet him at the park where several of the murders have happened after dark. He goes there, the bullies come after him, they're picking on him, but then they see the Shadow Man coming from across the park. And the bullies are all like, we're done, we're out, bye, because here comes the creepy, like, 7-foot Shadow Man. The kid just stands there confidently, and he's like, fuck you guys. Yeah, you're so brave, you're scared of the Shadow Man. I'm not scared of the Shadow Man. Shadow Man walks up, picks the kid up by the collar, and starts pulling him up to him and choking him. He goes, but you're the Shadow Man, you live under my bed, you said you would never harm me. And he goes, I'm a Shadow Man from someone else's bed. And it just cuts off Ned, and you're like, whoop. Shouldn't have got cocky.
Damn.
Yeah. It was only maybe 8 minutes, one of these little shorts that they did. But it was great because, don't get too cocky. Don't mess with the forces of darkness.
Great story. I wish we had TV shows like that again.
Yeah.
Anywho, so, Good Boy. I was scared in too many parts. So I don't have one part that scared me. The dog peeing really got to me.
Yeah, because you just feel complete sympathy for him there.
Yeah, and I'm just like, oh my goodness. I don't even know what I would even, if I had to see something like that, because he's reliving it via the smells.
Yeah. And then the Shadow Man popping out at him and things is the worst. Now this is going to be released theatrically on October 3rd. Mm-hmm. And then I know Shudder has the rights to it after that, so it'll probably run in theaters probably through October, and I'm not sure when it's coming to Shudder, but definitely if you can go to the theaters and see it. I'm sure it's an amazing watch theatrically. And then if you don't get a chance to see it in the theaters, for sure check it out on Shudder. This would be a great one. Can you imagine? This would be a great one for Joe Bob to cover, because I don't think he's ever done an animal horror movie like this.
You know what? He should cover it, and we should write in and say, Mutant Fan thinks you should cover this.
Yeah.
I think a lot of fans would love to have him cover this.
Yeah.
I would love to hear the commentary, because, God, the man is just so full of knowledge. Love me some Joe Bob.
That'd be great to see.
Well, thank you so much for joining us in another episode of Jump Scare, the Horror Podcast. Stay tuned to the horror.
And now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.